Always an honor and a pleasure on the sidelines of His Royal Highness Prince Radu of Romania visiting Egypt. We're really honored to have His Royal Highness on that special occasion and know more about his impressions visiting Egypt, the mother of the world, with many messages and also memories to record. Your Royal Highness, thank you so much for joining us here. It's actually a memorable moment while you're visiting Egypt. Maybe after many years, more than 30 years, how far has Egypt changed? And definitely memories before 30 years ago are quite different from memories today.
Yes, it is a long time. It was actually in 2006, a time in which both Romania and Egypt were very different countries. A lot changed in 2 decades, and obviously this makes me happy in a way, because it's a new reality and a lot of news and a lot of good news happened in the meantime. But it is also, I am a little bit sad to see how quickly the time passes, and that obviously what happened 20 years ago is now only a memory. But first of all, your country made an enormous progress in 20 years. That can be seen everywhere, and this is a blessing for your nation, but it is also a blessing for us, for your neighbors, because your country is a pole of stability in the region. And I suppose that the reason why Romanians feel so close to you is because, first of all, we have a lot in common. We have a lot of our civilization and history in common, but it is also something common in our temperament, in our way of life, in the way we understand life and the way we cherish life. That make us good friends. Last but not least, I think it was very clever and inspired idea 40, 50 years ago, when our countries decided to share knowledge in the younger generation. So there were a lot of students from Egypt coming to Romania to study medicine, engineering, economics. And that created an extraordinary bridge, because after the years they became personalities in their profession. They became members of the parliament, they became specialists, doctors, professors, medics, engineers, and that kind of continued our connection. Now Romania is part of the European Union, and Egypt is one of the key countries in this part of the world. And obviously our challenges are different, because we live, both countries, in a very difficult moment in our regions, in Southeastern Europe and in the Middle East. But that is an occasion to show how important it is that we are friends, we understand each other, and we stand next to each other for a better future.
Right, as you've wisely put it, Your Royal Highness, at such a turbulent moment in the whole region and the world, we find that our friendship stands stronger, and we are working always hand in hand vis-a-vis the different opinions that we share, the great visits, the royal visits, like Your Royal Highness visit to Egypt is going to be also a history-making event that we consider. And as we mark 120 years of our friendship, of diplomacy, and of getting closer as people-to-people relations as well. So how do you see this milestone, 120 years of diplomacy, of hard work, of success, of achievements, and of friendship in the first place?
I'm very proud of it, because I know very well that the beginning of the last century, when Romania and Egypt had this courage to put themselves together in a diplomatic relation, was a difficult time. The beginning of the last century was a very complicated moment of the European history and of the European neighborhood. And for countries like ours to have the vision and the strength to establish diplomatic relations was something that was a good lesson for many other countries in the world. It was also a very good example, because after establishing the relationships, our leaders did not stop there. They started to visit each other. There was a visit of the head of state of Egypt in 1912, just 6 years after the establishment of diplomatic relations. He visited industrial units, discussed with King Carol how exportation of goods, of energy, of food, of cereals is possible. So you see, they had a very pragmatical approach. They didn't just shake hands and made friends. They also put together projects to make their countries better off and more prosperous. And then obviously a lot of terrible things happened in the 20th century. There was a extraordinarily devastating Second World War, and then our country became communist for 50 years, and then the European continent had a happy moment in '89 when there was no barrier between the eastern and the western part of the country, and we started a new page in our contemporary history. And 35 years passed. 35 years that I knew, because I was a witness of every single day of these 35 years since 1990. And it's my joy that today I could come here and to try to write together with our connationals, Romanians who live in Egypt, and with the embassy, to try to write a new page.
A new page, and actually tonight we have celebrated a legacy of Her Majesty Queen Marie, and we've seen her love for Egypt and how this has been reflected in more than one sphere, visiting the different touristic destinations of the country and writing actually more about those historic moments, those lovely moments in our country. As we are celebrating, also Romania was the guest of honor at Cairo International Book Fair, and that in fact is reflecting more on cultural diplomacy and soft power.
We can talk about Egypt being one of the most exemplary countries in the world in terms of culture and education. Your culture and education are one of the oldest in the whole history of the world. It counts thousands of years. So this kind of civilization, or layers of civilization over the millennia, is something very few countries in the world have. So obviously when a cultural center like that, like Cairo, hosts as a guest of honor Romania, is a very important moment for us, and it's an occasion to show something about our literature and arts. But it is also a matter of communication. I'm very happy that Romania has strong connections in terms of culture and education with Egypt, but I know that it could be more than that in the future. We have currently a very large number of Romanians coming to visit your touristic places, and not just touristic, but very historical, very important culturally. But it could be much more. I mean, the figures show now something like 300,000 Romanians coming per year here, and that's wonderful, but I would like to be 3 million, because first of all, Romanians have an extraordinary pleasure to visit and to discover new hospitalities, new cultures, new traditions, and I know that nowadays Romanians can do that more easily than before. When I was young, it wasn't possible to travel. Now, young generations have the means to travel. So I would like to see that happening even more than before. So I hope my visit and what I am going to do after that will inspire them to come in a bigger number to see your wonderful places.
Right. Your Royal Highness, what would be the message that you would like to direct to Egyptians also on this special visit, and also fellow countrymen in Romania about the impressions on this visit?
Well, very simple message. Barriers are only in our mind. In reality, they don't exist. We have a lot of reasons to consider ourselves different. A different religion, a different continent, a different way of seeing life, a different language. And in fact, it's not at all true. The moment these people put themselves together, there is no barrier. It's about the things, values and principles we share in common, and the trust in each other and the pleasure of sharing a moment with each other. And in this respect, there is no barrier. So I'm sure that the friendship and the connection between our countries will only grow and develop in time. If for 120 years nobody was capable to stop it, it won't happen in the next 120 years either. So that's the message.
Wrapping up with your Royal Highness, because I know that we don't have much time, you have lots of activities as well. Let me say future prospects of our relations. The sky is always the limit, as they say.
Absolutely. I think, first of all, we enjoy a very strong economic relation, which now is numbered at about the value of 1 billion euro per year. That's a lot. It's much more than before. And there are perspectives to go further, because we have a more and more vibrant young generation. These people are better educated than us, than our generation. They will become responsible people in their own jobs, and they will be able to enlarge and to go further than our legacy to them, their legacy to the next generations. There are definitely, there is room for more educational partnerships, more economic development, and obviously more tourism between our countries. So I'm pretty sure that if we have the chance to put in practice these projects, they will definitely happen.
I thank you so much, Your Royal Highness Prince Radu of Romania, for being with us here in Egypt. Always welcome, Your Royal Highness. We always say that he who drinks from the River Nile waters will definitely be back. And now, after 35 years, we're really happy that you're back. You will be always among us here in Egypt with more memories to go back home. And we wish that our eternal friendship between Egypt and Romania will forever grow.
Thank you very much. I believe that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you.